Pinot, and I welcome you to our new tennis development webinar program. We will offer you capsule on different topics to help your level of play. The capsule will be as for the single as for the double. We will deal with the technical, tactical, psychological, and physical aspect. We will see different double formation in this capsule. These different positions will depend on several factors. This capsule is aimed for all levels of play. Good viewing. When we play double, it will be possible to positioning ourselves in several places on the court to address our points. Here's what we will cover in this capsule. The 4 positions before we start the point, possible formation when we are on serve, possible formation when we are receiving, and possible formation during the point. There are 4 well-defined rules for each position when we start a point. We have the server, the receiver, the server partner, and the receiver partner. I mentioned them in a chronological order of point. It is necessary to be well imbued with the role to be accomplished before starting the point. Having a good understanding of each role at the start of the point will prevent us from making inattentive errors that could be costly. Mental preparation and ritual between points is therefore essential. Too many players are approaching their new position without really realizing what to do now. Here's an example of internal language of the 4 players according to their position before they start a point. The server might say, I want to serve at 80% of percentage on a high ball on the backhand, and I will go in the corner to use my forehand after. The receiver would say, I want a cross-court return, but if the net player moves too much, I will lob it. The net player will say, I will move in the center to disturb, and if the return is attainable, I will do something. And the receiver partner will say, I will wait and see how the return will be, and then I could move forward. Server goal is really simple. The server, his goal is to serve a high percentage of first serve because they don't want to play a lot of points on the second serve. Otherwise, they're going to be attacked. Take right target to help the team. Depending if they want to serve in the middle, angle, to be sure then they reduce the possibilities of the returner. Being able to serve from different locations, that could help and give different plans. Being able to apply different formation, we'll see that after. So serving is giving you an angle like this if you serve from that position. You can serve also from this position where you provide that kind of angle. Or you can serve from more the alley where you provide this kind of angle. Each position will have these advantages and disadvantages. It's a question of what angle we want to leave to our opponent. The receiver goal mainly is to be sure that it takes a target before you start the point. Play with a high percentage to start the point, take advantage of a low quality service to attack, and be sure you will communicate his intention so he can adjust his movement. The server partner goal is you want to help his partner to win the serve. You want to be sure that he can distract, to be sure he can maybe change the mind of the returner. Being comfortable with different formation to have different plan. Have a target before the point start. That means if he touch the ball, the target are set so he can play. And be sure he could adjust his technique depending on the time he has. The receiver partner is the last one who can touch the ball. So be sure then he's aware of how the points start. He will analyze the quality of the serve and the return and the movement at the net. And then he could adjust his position to play the point. Here are some positions we will see in the next slide. The server partner, it could be at different places. Server partner in this situation is in the middle of the service box, ready to attack. And the receiver partner is at the service line and is waiting to defend himself or moving at the net to attack. So that's two classical positions on starting the point. In this one, when two players will decide to start the point from the baseline, it's because the server is too efficient compared to the quality of our returns, or the presence of the net player is too dominant. So we have a classical position against two at the back. You could have here a player at three-quarter court. Compared to the previous one, the three-quarter court position is usually more net-oriented because he might want to come back at the net after the return. He just wants to have a confirmation that the return will be beside the net player. The Australian formation is when both players are on the same side of the court. The main objective of this formation is to remove the best cross-court return of the opponent. We want to force them to play parallel. Let's look at one of the roles where there are a lot of possibilities. The position of the server partner. Here are some crouching positions. It will be able to take different posture according to several criteria. It will be crouching more if it's closer to the net, but will need quicker volleys to do it. It could also go slightly further. This will give it more time to move according to the need of the quality of the shot. Server movement, it's really important, must be made at a specific time between the bounce of the service and the impact of the receiver. So here, the ball touched the floor. When the ball leaves the ground, the player can move. When the ball touched the floor here, that's a moment where the player and the ball, they are moving together. And when the ball is close to the impact, he could decide to move on the side. Let's see that on the video. So the ball will bounce, he's moving forward, and when the ball is close, he moves and then he has to come back. That timing is really important. So let's see that again. He's moving forward after, and then he decides to move on the side, and he's coming back on time. That's the net movement on every single movement at the net. So you have to wait when the ball is at a halfway. So look at this. When the ball, between the bounce and the impact, when the ball will be on a halfway, that is timing to take a side. And that's a great movement. See, the ball is almost in the racket and then he's moving. That's the way we have to do it. In this position, you can see it's a basic one. He starts about in the middle of the service box, but his objective will go with the direction of the serve, or the quality of the serve, or the type of the receiver, So he starts from this position, but it will move to the right if the ball is more in the middle of the court. It will move straight if the ball is more like jam, and if the serve is wide, it will go slightly to the left. And if he's playing someone who's hitting really hard, maybe it will not go as close. I formation against both back. There will be different I formation. The classic position will be on the middle line, but some players will prefer to be slightly on the side of the line. The objective is very simple, to create a doubt to the receiver of where he will go. The better is the move, the less the receiver will know. You have to be quick at the net. The best attitude for the receiver will be to commit himself in a specific shot and to stick to it, no matter if the net player goes in your direction. You may notice in this I formation, the net player is closer to the center than the previous one. And the server is more in the middle too. It should be directly related. In this one, the classical against a classical position, we call that an aggressive classical formation. Notice how the net player is crouched and really close at the net. That kind of position that will encourage the net player to make side changes and to take cross-court return. Now we're going to take some moment to talk about the returning team formation. Here are some situations. We're going to play classical, when the partner can be at 3/4 court or both back. The receiver will take a position according to several factors. Depend on the server position, if it is close to the center or more in the corner. Could be if someone is using a lot of spin or not. In this situation, you can see the server is more in the middle of the court, so the server is not as much close to the alley, a little bit further from the alley. And if someone's using something with more spin, like a spin serve, so you can see the returner is more inside of the court. He wants to take advantage of this situation. Now, we're going to talk about the receiver partner. So look how the player in this situation will take different movement depending where is going to be the ball. So she started in the basic position here. She watched the server. As soon the ball pass, she turns and now she watched the net player here. She is aware of the quality of the return. The return is cross court. She knows then she's not going to touch it. Right away she's going to move forward to put pressure on this player. The ball is in the racket, like I told you. She's allowed now to move on the side because now the ball is here. She's going to try. She's not going to get it. And as soon the ball passes, she's going to come back to recover, to defend herself. And then she realized that her defense is good. She's going to come back to play out the point. So just to give you an idea what everything she did here before she hit one ball. She's aware. She's waiting and see how the net players move. Now she can move forward. She's going to try. She's going to miss. She's going to come back and then ready to defend herself. So that's everything the net player has to do before the points start. Now during points, we will have some different formation too. It could be you are in classical position against a classical one, or you can play against two opponents as a net, or you could be at the net, or both at the net, or both at the back. A different pattern could be possible. But the thing is, when you play a point and the point take you out of your original position, you must quickly get into the right role. What are your choices, and be sure that your game plan is clear accordingly to the pattern. So if we're doing a little recap of what we just saw, we saw the 4 basic position and role in doubles, various possible formation, different angles depending where you're serving, different movement or the way to move when you are at the net, adapting your receiver position, different movement for the receiver partner, how to change zones as a team, being a wall on the court. So all of these points could help you to move better on double points. Hopefully you can apply these tips position when you will play your next doubles matches. You can send your question to my email address at any time. Thank you and see you soon for our next capsule.